Good evening, everyone. Jaideep, wow, you're early today. Yeah. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome, Raj and Jaideep, too. How are you today? All of those people who have just joined us today in our online grammar session. Obviously, this is an open access to all of you guys. For those people who still can't make it to 5 to 6 p.m. grammar session at Footscray, you'll get the access to the live link of course, and that link will be there on our Facebook page forever. So if you have missed any grammar classes, of course, I'm talking about those people who are watching us online, and as well as those people who have just missed this and they are part of our Emdad and IELTS coaching center. If you have missed the links previously, you can still get full access to those links by just visiting our Facebook page, Emdad's Grammar. That's our Facebook community. We post these links there, and those links will stay there forever. So we'll never, these are not like temporary links. After 24 hours, they'll get vanished or disappeared. They are there forever for you to practice and you to benefit from. So welcome all of you again, and we are, for those people who have just joined us, we are an institute in Emdad and IELTS. My name is Zishan, and Sir Emdad takes this session every day, 5 to 6 p.m. So we don't cover a lot of rules. We just cover some bits and pieces which are beneficial for your grammar, improvement in your grammar. And of course, if you're sitting for any testing system in Australia or outside Australia, be it PT, IELTS, TOEFL, or any other testing system, grammar is the same. See, I just used the grammar rule here. Grammar is the same. So when I say, Raj, you have a shirt which is a blue color and my shirt is blue too. So I'll say your shirt is same as mine, or your shirt is the same as mine. Your shirt is the same as mine. And this is a grammar rule. We always use the before same. Your scores are the same as mine. Something like this. Yeah. His house is the same as mine. Is it clear? So the same is like a collocation. So same always comes with the. Okay, all good. So let's come to today's grammar session, and let's start with today's first rule. Tell me, what can you see there? Today's link, yeah? So let me type something in here, yeah? And you tell me, what do you think about this sentence? I'm going to type a sentence here. Now, before I type this sentence, and before I hello, how are you, Rohit? Good to see you after a while. Yeah. Is that the real gold, or do you know this area is Badnam Footscray? You can't wear proper gold because somebody can snatch it from you, and then it's very, walking like this in this area, it's not, and particularly like in the evening or after evening. All right, guys. So, for example, understand the context, everyone, and look at me. So, for example, I work in an organization, in a company. Yeah? Although I belong to my field is English language, I teach English, that's what my field is. But if I am in a company which is totally different from what my field is, yeah, so I'm working in a company which is totally different. It could be anything. For example, an automobile shop, could be anything, yeah, cars, sale of cars. But I don't like working there, yeah. So I've worked there for like consecutively 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, but I don't like working in that company anymore. So I'd go to the boss and I would say, "Can you please fire me?" But of course, I can't say, "Can you please fire me?" Yeah? It sounds little bit odd. Can you please fire me? You know, fire is such a negative word. I'll use a sentence which is called something like this. Yeah, I'd say, "My boss relieved me from my..." What can you see there? Tell me. My boss relieved me from my responsibilities. Yeah. Now tell me and look at this sentence and tell me, what do you think here? Is this sentence correct, or do you think that there is something that you want to change which will make it correct? Let's ask this to I forgot her name. Sorry, Javed. Let's ask this to Javed. Javed bhai, can you tell me what sort of change do you think that this sentence deserves? What is wrong in this sentence? There is a mistake. I know it, Javed. You have to tell me. You have to pick it for me. What is the mistake? But I gave you the context. What is the context of this sentence, Javed? Go ahead. Relieved. Relieved already held. I want to change relieved. Yeah. With. Want to replace relieved. Yeah. With what? The context is that the boss let me go. The context is this. Yeah. So I asked my boss. Yeah. Please let me go. I don't like working in this automobile company anymore. That's the context. So I would say this: my boss relieved me from my responsibilities. What is a mistake here? Huh? My responsibilities? It should be her responsibilities, yeah? From the responsibilities? Mm. All right. Oh, I love this. Now understand, this is the structure that I used a word here called relieve, yeah? And relieve is used when we let somebody go, yeah? So no more tasks for you. You are done and dusted. Move on. So that's when we use this word relieve. So what is the proper structure of this relieve? Let's let somebody go, yeah? So let's write it in the bracket. Let somebody, yeah, go. Or no more tasks for that particular person. So you're not part of that company anymore. So let somebody go. The structure for relieve is relieve somebody of something. Is it clear? How easy is this? How easy is this? Relieve somebody of something else. Is it clear? Okay, so how can we rephrase this sentence? Easy peasy. Now I told you already. Relieve me of my duties. Relieve me not from my duties. It will be relieve me of my duties. Can you please relieve me of my duties? Means that can you please let me go? Yeah, I don't want to work here anymore. So relieve is a word, not release. Relieve is a word which is always used with a preposition of, not from. This is a common mistake we make. Yeah, like for example, when we say जब हम बोलते हैं, देखो राज, इंडिया में हम क्या बोलते हैं, हिंदी में क्या हुआ? Sorry to use a little Hindi here, people who are online. I'll say it in English too. Raj, जैसे हम बोलते हैं इसके पीछे ये कारण है. And how do we say it in English? There is a reason behind. Exactly, you say behind, but it's 100% wrong, because reason never comes with Behind, because we say it in Hindi, there's a reason behind. That's not the collocation. How do native people say it? They say there's a reason for this particular problem. Why? This is a collocation. It always comes together. Yeah. So similarly, relieve is a word. It always comes with a preposition called of, not from. So kaise hoga? Relieve me, relieve him, relieve her, relieve an employee, relieve a worker of his duties or responsibility. It could be burden as well. Yeah. So for example, let's write a sentence when my let's write a sentence, guys. Is it clear? So what is the sentence here? When my friend came up with the good news, he actually relieved me from my worries. Nah, he relieved me of my worries. Is it clear? The relieve always comes with of. Is it clear now? So let's write it here. Relieve me from is, let's correct it. It should be, let's correct it here. It should be relieve me of. Is it clear? How easy is this? So we just learned a rule called relieve somebody of something. Let me actually put it in bold so that you know this is, and let me actually put it at the top so that this is a little easier for you. Oh, sorry. So relieve somebody of something. Yeah. All good. Now let's come to the next grammar rule. Oh, I love this one. This is such a Zabardast grammar rule. Now let me write it here. Yeah. Yeah. Not received. Oh, I was talking about relieve all this time and he said receive. Yeah, go ahead. It's 100% wrong because it should be relieve me. What is this structure? Relieve somebody, relieve me of my duty. So from is 100% wrong. Is it clear? Now let's come to this. Number 3. Why? Can't it be my responsibility, your responsibility? It's 100% right. My responsibilities, your responsibility, his responsibility, he was relieved of his responsibilities. Means that he's not accountable for that job anymore. Is it clear? So his responsibility, my responsibility, any possessive pronouns that you are using here is still right. Possessive pronouns kya hua? My, his, her, yeah, your, their. These are all possessive pronouns. So there's no mistake in putting those possessive pronouns before responsibilities. Yeah. Now let's come to number 2. Actually, this is not number 3. Let's, yeah. Now I'll write a sentence here and I'll ask this question to Rohit. Now let me write it here very quickly. Oh, I love this one. So let's write it here. Rohit, tell me, what's the mistake here? When? What do you think? It should be when has he, yeah? How many think Rohit is right? When has he? Should it be when he has or when has he? When has he? Okay, let me write another sentence here and you tell me, what do you think about this sentence? Tell me, what do you think about this sentence? Yeah, where the company does offer discount. What is the mistake here? Where does the company? How do you know it? How do you know this rule? Because all the interrogative sentences, and what are those interrogative sentences that start with WH? All the question sentences, yeah, interrogative sentences that start with WH. Has a these sentences have a rule that whenever you have a WH at the beginning of the sentence, yeah, WH at the beginning of the sentence will immediately be followed by auxiliary first and then your subject. Is it clear? Now, what are those WH words? When, what, where, which, whom, whose, yeah, how. They're all WH questions, yeah. So if you see any of those, yeah, what, when, where, which, whom, whose, yeah, how, if you see them at the beginning of the sentence will immediately be auxiliary plus subject. Now, the examples are like this. Let's write those examples. Who? Let's write this. Who are you? How easy is this? Don't write, don't copy anything. That's not my grammar rule. I'm coming to a strong point here. Who are you? What about this? When was he, or when he was? When was, you know the auxiliaries, yeah? So auxiliaries are, could be anything. Is, am, yeah, are, was, were, has, does, do, yeah, can, yeah, will, yeah, shall. So these are all auxiliaries. Whenever you see any of those, yeah, so WH is at the beginning, it will immediately be followed by any of these auxiliaries, yeah. When does he? When do they? Of course, does comes with singular noun and do comes with plural noun. And then the subject. Is it clear? So how about this sentence? So who are you is 100% right. How about this sentence? Let's write it here. Where are you from? Right or wrong? Tell me, Jadip. Where are you from? Where are you from? Yeah. So are is my auxiliary, and auxiliary will come first. So this sentence is 100% right, isn't it? But there are certain case scenarios when so this is case one. Let me write it here. This is case one. Yeah. So let's write it here. Let's put it something like this. So this is case one. Let's come to case two. So how do we write this? Now look at this, everyone. So if the WH, for example, is in the middle, question kya tha? Who are you? So if the WH is in the middle, so somebody asks you a question, yeah? Who are you? So you are replying, I don't know who I am, or I don't know who am I. So let's write it. I don't know. Let me write it here. Who I am, or I don't know, yeah? I don't know who am I. Now you tell me. Does the question start? Now you tell me. Does the question, does this statement begin with a WH word? It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't begin with a WH word. Now tell me, if it doesn't begin with a WH word, do I need to put a question mark in the end? Of course, I don't have to put the question mark in the end, yeah? Now, in this case scenario, now the WH word is not at the beginning like this one, yeah? The WH here was at the beginning. Here, WH is in the middle. Let me highlight it. WH here is in the middle. And whenever you have WH in the middle of the sentence, this time the structure will change. The structure will be not auxiliary plus subject. This time the subject will come first, followed by auxiliary. Is it clear? So how would it be? I don't know who I am. But if the sentence started with something like this, with WH, yeah? So how would the sentence be? Auxiliary first. So who am I? And then question mark in the end. Is it clear? Who am I? Interrogative sentence. And then if WH is in the middle, you put subject first followed by auxiliary. This is case scenario B. What if something, let me ask this question to, let's ask this to, you tell me. आप मुझे बताओ. Where are you? Right or wrong? where you are. Well done. Thank you very much. We finished with this grammar session. Where are you? So WH is at the beginning. It will always be followed by auxiliary first. Where ke baad auxiliary. How about this? How is he? Right or wrong? How is he? Right or wrong? Right. How is he? Yeah. My mom wants to know how is he? Right or wrong? My mom wants to know how is he, or my mom wants to know how he is. How he is, because how is in the middle, it will immediately be followed by subject plus verb. SV, subject plus verb. Is it clear? Did you understand these two rules? That's not what my grammar rule was today, because we have done it in the past. My grammar rule is number C. Now let's write this. Let me write it here. How about this now? Let me write this sentence here. Sentence ऐसे शुरू हो रहा है. Let me write it. The sentence begins with WH. Yeah? Let me write it here. Or how about this? Can I write something like this? When he scored? What is it following? What is this WH word followed by? What is it followed by? Subject plus verb. Is this sentence right or wrong? When he scored. It should be when did he score? Yeah? So when it's 100% wrong. But this sentence is right. This sentence is 100% right. And who can tell me why? You have to add something extra and this sentence will be right. Although this is immediately followed by subject plus verb. It should not be subject plus verb. It should be auxiliary first. When did he score? Yeah? But this sentence is 100% right if you add something extra to make it right. Who can help me with that? Now pay attention. Look at me, everyone. Now you'll love this. Trust me. For example, now everybody look at me. Have you heard of a situation like this? You have your friend whose desired score is 8, yeah? And he got his desired score as 8 in each, yeah? Which is really beautiful, isn't it? Thank you. So he got his desired score 8 in each. But he never disclosed it to you. That's what friends do anyway. They don't disclose their private things. Oh, this is not that private, is it? I mean, getting their scores. So he didn't disclose it to you. Nah? So when you're saying a statement and you're using the statement like this, उसने कब score किया मुझे पता ही नहीं है. In Hindi. Sorry to use a little Hindi here. Yeah? So this time, if you have a sentence like this, now understand this thing. I'm going to write the sentence here again. When he scored, yeah, was unknown to me. Is it clear? Did you understand this one? So this sentence doesn't finish there when he scored. I will write another sentence like that. When he scored was unknown to me. Mane, this means that this sentence is same as it was unknown to me when he got his scores. Is it clear? This sentence is the same sentence as it was unknown to me when he got his scores or when he scored. How about this? Where he lives. Is it right or wrong? Where he lives. This is 100% wrong so far, but how can we make it right? Where he lives, we have to add something extra extension. Where he lives is an open secret. In other words, how am I writing this sentence? It is an open secret where he lives. Is it clear? You see my point? So this question, this is an exception to the rule one that we did here. WH will immediately be followed by an auxiliary verb. But if you have a situation like this, the question, if you have an auxiliary verb after WH, it will always end up with a question mark, isn't it? But is this situation here, is it ending up with a question mark? Although WH is at the beginning, but it doesn't end with a question mark. This is how you can recognize these sentences. WH at the beginning, it doesn't end with a question mark. So for example, why he comes late is unknown to me. Why he comes late is unknown to Me. Yeah. How about this? Why he comes late? Right or wrong? If the sentence finishes here, this sentence is wrong because it should be why does he come late? Is it clear? See my point? So this is how there are three ways of using these WH. Can you copy all of them? A, B, and C, please. I hope that you've understood all of these three. Yeah. Just bear with me a couple of seconds. I just have to drink water for a thought. All right. Well done. Now let's come to rule number 3. Grammar rule number 3 or 4, whatever it is. Now pay attention, everyone. I'll write a sentence. And let me actually write it here. So without wasting a lot of time, let me write this sentence here, guys. What do you think about this sentence? Now let me ask this to Atul. Atul is here. Atul, can you read this sentence quickly? Yeah. What can you see here? Are those? Is there a mistake here? Find the mistake here. Atul. Tell me. What is the mistake? Atul goes, yes, there's a mistake, but nah, Atul can't do it. Maninder, बताओ मुझे what is the mistake here? Quite, I'm going to ask. The Maninder is going to answer. I know he can. I hope he can. I wish he can. बताओ मुझे Maninder, what is the answer here? What is the mistake? So कहाँ पे comma नहीं आएगा? Important के बाद comma नहीं आएगा. So this comma I have to eliminate it. Yeah, let's eliminate it. That's not the mistake. The mistake is somewhere else. Yeah. Was की जगह is आएगा. Well done. दिल कर रहे हैं नौकरी छोड़ दूं. So look, Atul, if I ask you a question, it was raining. Find a mistake, sir. It is raining, because we're talking about present. Any form it is in. It was raining. It is raining. It will rain. Jo marzi tense ho. You're talking about tense here. Tense is not the mistake here. The first blunder in this sentence is, Raj, you tell me, what's the first mistake here? The first mistake is, well done, Raj. The first mistake is although and but can never come together in a sentence. You never ever put although and but together in a sentence. It's either although or but you can never have both of them in the same sentence. Is it clear? You see my point? So but is removed because you never have although with but. And although का एक rule है. Although is all. I'll come to this sentence. Let me write this. Although has a rule that it is always followed by two opposite clauses, two contrasting clauses. Yeah, both of them are opposite, contrast. For example, something like this: I did not work hard, I still passed. Is it not a contrast? I did not work hard, but I still passed. So how would I write this? Although no comma, never put a comma after although के बाद कभी भी comma नहीं आएगा. So there was another mistake here. Although के बाद comma. So two mistakes. No comma after although. So although कैसे होगा? Although I did not work hard, comma, I still passed the test. Pass the test, positive. Did not work hard, negative. So although can always come with a contrast. How about this? Let me ask this question to Rohit. Rohit, can I say something like this? Although it rained, although it rained, the garden looked wet. Is it a contrast? Although it rained, the garden looked wet. Barish pada and garden was wet. Is it a contrast? No, it's a similar thing. Yeah, it's a cause and effect. There's no contrast. I can't use although here in this case scenario. How about this? Although I'm from India, but I'm still better in English than. So although I'm from India, because normally trend kya India mein people are not good in English that much. Yeah, but this is a contrast. So there's someone who is at least better than English, or maybe one of you is better than English. Yeah, better in English. So although is always used with a contrast. So for example, a TV was television was expensive. Yeah, but you still didn't. You still bought it. Yeah, so you'll say although the television was expensive, I still bought it. Yeah, is it clear? So although it was raining heavily, we preferred to play football on that day. Is it clear? So there is a contrast. So although always comes with a contrast, but the rule is that although will never ever be followed by a noun phrase, it will always be followed by a clause. Yeah, never a noun phrase. Now tell me, is this a noun phrase or is this a clause here? Coming to class was important. Clause and noun phrase में क्या फर्क है? What is a clause? मैंने बोला इससे पहले. Clause is बोला subject verb agreement. Yeah, so subject plus verb plus object. Now look at this sentence. Coming to class is my subject. Yeah, and was is my verb, and important is my object. So this is a clause. So putting this sentence after although is 100% right. So it could be anything, just like this one. So although gaining PR, Australian PR, was not my priority, I ended up becoming a citizen in Australia. Yeah. So look at the contrast. Although gaining my PR was not my priority or was not a priority. Is it clear? So this thing is a clause. Why did I introduce these sentences that begin with verb ing? Let me put it in the bold. Why did I introduce those sentences that begin with verb plus ing? There's a reason I said so. Because there are three connectors that are used for contrast. One of them we just learned is although. Another one is despite. Yeah? Despite. And another one is in spite of. Is it clear? In spite of 2 words or 3 words? 3 words, I just wrote it. In spite of is always 3 words. And all of them are used, all of these connectors are used for showing contrast. Opposite, 2 opposite sentences. Is it clear? But the rule for all 3 of them are different. Is it clear? And that's what you want, that's what you need to learn here. Although will always be followed by a clause. Is it clear? Subject plus verb plus object. But can I write something like this? Although raining, I still went shopping. Although raining, I still went shopping. Now, do the immediate sentence after although, is it a clause? Is it subject verb agreement? Is it subject plus verb? Subject plus क्या हुआ? Although I was late, although he was late, although he came late, although raining should have happened. Something like a clause, yeah? But is this simply a clause here? This is not a clause, it is simply an ing form of verb plus ing. And although can never ever be used in this case scenario. It will simply be replaced. Although here will although there is a contrast. It was raining, but we still went shopping. We still went shopping. In this case, you can't put, although there's a contrast, but in this case, you can't put although, you have to put despite. So what is the rule for despite? Despite will always be followed by verb plus ing. Although both of them are used for contrast, but although ke saath you need a clause, subject plus verb plus object. But with despite, you will use verb plus ing. Is it clear? But both of them are used for contrast. How about this? If I write this sentence, let me ask this to Hira. Hira, if I write this sentence, despite, yeah, tell me, Hira, what do you think about this sentence? Right or wrong? What is the sentence? Despite drinking water, I felt thirsty. What do you look at first? What do we have after despite? What do we have after despite? Drinking water. Is it a clause, drinking water? It's not a clause. What is a clause? Drinking water is necessary for health. This is a clause. Drinking water is my subject, is my verb, important for health is my object. So here, despite drinking water, I felt thirsty. So पानी पीने, हिंदी में क्या हुआ? पानी पीने के बावजूद I felt thirsty. Is it clear? So this sentence is 100% right. But can I write something like this? Despite I drank water, yeah, I felt thirsty. Can I write something like this? Despite I drank water, yeah? Can I write something like this? So this sentence would be 100% wrong. So let's write it here. This sentence will be 100% wrong. Despite I drank water. This could be right if I replace despite with although. Although I drank water, I felt thirsty. But I can't put despite with a clause. Is it clear? So let me put it here. This sentence is 100% right, 100% correct. And this sentence is 100% wrong. Is it clear? So same rule applies for in spite of. Let me write them here. Although will be immediately be followed by a clause. Despite will immediately be followed by verb plus ing. And in spite of has the same rule. It will be followed by verb plus ing as well. Is it clear? So how about this? Let me ask this to Shrishna. Shrishna, you tell me. Despite working hard, I failed. Right or wrong? Right, isn't it? Despite working hard, I failed. Although I worked hard, I failed. Right or wrong? Right, 100% right. How about this? Although working hard, I failed. Although working hard, I failed. Right or wrong? Wrong. Although working hard, because this is not a clause. Although will always come with a clause. Isme kya hoga? Despite working hard. Despite playing for national hockey team, yeah. Despite playing for national hockey team, I wasn't selected for the upcoming event. Is it clear? Positive and negative. Suppose, simple example. तुमने jacket पहना है. The jacket is not protecting you from the cold. Despite wearing the jacket. But can I say although wearing the jacket? Nah. Despite wearing the jacket, I still felt cold. Is it clear? If I change the same sentence with although, I'll say although I wore the jacket, subject verb object. Although I wore the jacket, yeah, I still felt cold. Is it clear? Did you understand the difference between although and despite? But both of them will be used in different case scenarios, but both of them are contrast. Yeah, bolo Hira. Yeah, I was coming to that. I'll come to that. Is it clear? Did you understand this one? So let's write it here. So although can come with the clause and despite will always come with verb plus ing. But there's one more rule with despite and in spite of. It will also be followed by a noun. By a noun. Simply a noun. Let me write it here. Ye PUBG kaun khel raha hai? Okay. So let's write it here. by a noun. So let's see, let me give you some examples of what do I mean by these two. They'll be always followed by a noun. So let's say, for example, मैंने क्या भी बोला था, let's use these examples. Yeah, despite drinking water, they'll be followed by the noun. कैसे मैं बोला? Despite consumption of water. Noun phrase, isn't it? Something of something else. Noun phrase. Despite the consumption of water. How about this? Let me give you an easy example. Despite raining. Yeah. So I said despite raining. Na bol ke? Despite the rain. Or despite the harsh rain. Now what is it? It's simply a noun. It's not a clause. Is harsh rain a clause? It's a noun phrase. Yeah. Despite the harsh. Despite good numbers. Despite good numbers on his score report card, he still couldn't crack the test. Yeah. Suppose something like this. Despite the height, despite the great height, the mountaineer climbed Himalayas. Is it clear? Despite the height क्या है? Height is simply a noun. What about this? Although the mountain was high. This here I'm saying mountain was high. Mountain is my subject, was is my verb, high is my object. Although the mountain was high, the mountaineer climbed it, or mountaineer was successful in climbing it. Is it clear? So simply three rule. Let me give you three examples here and it will be clear. So let's write this. Although, last examples of these ones, so it will be clear. Although the mountain, let's wipe all these examples before them, and let's give one example each so that we don't get confused. So let's start with although. Number one, although, yeah, although the gift was expensive, yeah, I still purchased it. Right or wrong? Tell me. Although the gift was expensive. Gift was expensive. It's a clause. How can I change it with despite? Who can tell me? Despite be or being? Despite being expensive. कैसे होगा? Despite being expensive, I still purchased the gift. Yeah, I still purchased the gift. Yeah, so let's write it here. I still purchased the gift. Now, okay, I can also say despite, yeah, despite the price, despite the high price. Yeah. Now, what is the high price? Am I using a verb ing or a noun here? I'm using a noun phrase here, yeah? Noun phrase. So this is second way of writing this. Expensiveness is not a word. Expensiveness. So you say, despite the high price, being pricey. Pricey? Yeah? So despite the high price, yeah? कैसे होगा? Second is simply a clause. I still purchase it, blah, 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 blah. Now, okay. How can we write the same thing? You just have to use despite ki jagah in spite of, and in spite of will have the same rule. So let's put it here. Despite, yeah, in spite of, yeah, or despite, yeah, in spite of, yeah. So what did we learn here today? We learned here that although, despite, and in spite of are all interchangeable only in terms of saying that they can be used for contrast, because they have got two opposite sentences with it. But grammatically there is different rule for that. The only thing you have to learn is that the clause will always be used with although. Itna examples dene ke baad you know it, yeah? The clause is always used with although. Yeah? Is it clear, guys? Whew, done with this one. Anyone who has got any doubts here, please ask me before we move on to the next grammar rule. Maninder, tum kuch pooch rahe the? Exactly. इसीलिए मैंने जानबूझ के दो sentences put किए यहाँ पे. Now tell me, did I put immediately a comma after this? My clause one done, my subject one done. Nah. What did I say? How about this? You tell me. Is this a clause or a noun phrase? Let me come to you, Maninder. तुमने बहुत अच्छा question किया है. That's why I on purpose introduced these verb ing after although. Now tell me, Maninder. When I say playing is my hobby, is it simply a verb ing or is it a clause? It's a clause, isn't it? Playing is my hobby. But I simply say playing. What is it? Verb plus ing form of verb. But here in this case, now if you look at this sentence, what does the sentence say? The sentence says, although coming or although coming to the class was important. Coming to the class was important. Is it not a clause? It's a clause. Like playing was my hobby. Coming was important. Coming to class was important. This is not simply a verb ing. This is a clause, full-fledged clause. Is it clear? So although, if I said something like this, yeah, if I said although coming, comma, I missed the class. Although coming, does it make sense? Although coming, it doesn't make sense. So this sentence would be, I would, if I had despite here, then it makes sense. Despite coming to the class, yeah, I still couldn't understand what was happening in the grammar session. Is it clear? You see my point? Despite coming, despite visiting the museum, I couldn't learn anything. Despite coming to Australia, yeah, yeah, I didn't feel happy, yeah, something like this. Is it clear? So something like this. Did you understand this? For example, तुम्हें लगा तुमने phone खरीदा, तुम्हें लगा phone खरीदने से सुकून मिलेगा मुझे. So you said, despite buying iPhone, I wasn't satisfied. Is it clear? See my point? But can I say although buying smartphone? Although I purchased smartphone. Subject, verb, object. Is it clear? Did you understand this one now? Whew. All right. I know this was like a too much for you, but at least you will not now make a mistake in terms of reading blanks. Where to put although, where to put despite, and where to put in spite. Of course, in spite of and can we ever say despite of? Despite of is 100% wrong. You never say despite of. Despite can never come with of. But despite and in spite of are both interchangeable. We have spent enough time on this one. Now let's come to the next grammar rule. Let me write it here. Okay, so rule number 5, I'm writing it here, guys. Pay attention. My friends, the sentence is, my friends took a journey from China to India. Right? So suppose I have some friend circle, and they are going for a travel. Yeah, so they're going for travel from one place to another place. And what is the sentence? What am I writing here? Those two places are China and India. So how am I writing this sentence? My friends took a journey from China to India. Okay, Ravi, phone chodo side mein, look at the television. Can you read this sentence? Bolo. Make a mistake as well. What is the mistake here, Ravi? Nah, can't do it. Rohit, what's the mistake here? Now you think you should be smart enough because you come up with good answers sometimes. Trust me. Nah, I forgot your name. Sorry, Suchi. Can you come up with the answer here? What's the mistake? Sorry, a little louder. सही है, सही बोल रहे हो. Instead of took, क्या होना चाहिए? It should be take a journey. Well done. You made the same mistake like Atul. Was important की जगह होना चाहिए is important. This is, if I'm putting something there, you just don't change the tense and say it should be take. My friends take. What if I'm talking about last month? What am I talking about last? Huh? You're changing the tense. How can you say my friends taking a journey? It should be my friends are taking a journey, isn't it? Can you say I playing? I playing today. Join me. Or I am playing today. My friends went to journey. Yalla Sadiq. My friends went to journey. Huh? Lovely. Look at that here. Kasam says, sir, yahan pe hote you would have received the Kit Kat today. Trust me. Journey is a color. The journey is a word. It is always used with make. Make is a collocation. Make is always used with journey. How many of you didn't ever think like this? Make is a word which will be used with the journey. So whenever you go for a travel and you use this word journey, it will never be used with take. It will always be used with make. Wow, look at this. So T hi change karna tha. So the structure for this one is, what is the structure? Let's write it here. The structure is make a journey. Yeah, so make a journey. From A to B, it doesn't matter, but make a journey. How about if I say something like this? He made a journey. How about if I change make to made? How about this? It's the same. You can't say no, the rule was make. It can't be made. It's the past of make, yeah? So I made a journey. My boss made a journey from Australia to India to open new branches, for example. Made a journey. It's still okay. But how about this now? Everybody quiet. Now let me ask this to Javed sir. Javed? How about this? Fill in the blanks without changing anything. Don't change anything, just fill in the blank there. Took a flight. Yes, could be right. Took a flight. A flight is not journey. Yeah? Journey, there's a word that we use with journey. Huh? Took a bus, took a auto rickshaw, to jo marzi bol do just took a travel. Took a trip. Who said it? Take a trip is a collocation. Let me write it here. So take will be always used with trip, and make would be always used with journey, and never ever mix them. Take a trip and make a journey. So here the answer would be trip. Is it clear? So took a trip from China to India. Is it clear, guys? So you learn two collocations here. Journey comes with make, trip comes with take. Is it clear, guys? Did you understand this one? Make is a collocation that is used with a lot of different words, not just the journey. Yeah? Make is also used with a lot of different words. Who can tell me? For example, when you say something like this, do you ever say something like this? Uh-oh, I committed a mistake. You never say I committed a mistake. You always say I made a mistake. Make a mistake is a collocation. Make is used with this. How about this? Before you leave your house, before you leave your bedroom, it's very important to dash your bed. Make your bed. Make your bed. Make a mistake is. It's always used. Make is used with a lot of different words. Yeah. Make a mistake. For example, how about this? You need to dash peace with him. You need to make peace with him. You're not making it. Yeah. How about this? Let me write a sentence. Acha grammar rule yaad hai. How about this? If I write a sentence like this, now you tell me, this is such a zabardast. Oh, I love this sentence. Suppose the sentence is something like this. You are what can you see there? Look at this. You are cooking well, and you will become a good cook one day. Tina, this sentence can be used, although you will become a good cook one day is right, but natives have a different word for this one. The one we just talked about earlier on. Make. How do you write this sentence? You are cooking well, and you will make a good cook. Do you know what it means? You'll make a good cook. It doesn't mean that you are going to create another cook. It doesn't mean you will create another cook. So, for example, I'm sure she'll make a good wife. She'll make a good wife simply means that she will be a good wife. Yeah. So something like this. Donald Trump has got good skills. He'll make a good president. For example. Yeah. in the next elections too, which is totally opposite. Yeah, he'll make a good president. Yeah, he'll make a good leader. Make a good leader simply means he will become a good leader. But they don't use become anymore in native. Of course, you can use become, but if you see this, no, don't change the meaning. Make a good leader, make a good president, make a good wife, make a good cook. Yeah, it simply means become a good wife or good cook. This is a good rule. Can you please write this example down, please? So, will make a good cook means that you will be a good cook. Is it clear? हाँ ना कुछ तो बोलो, क्या ज़माना आ गया? Look. Okay, so we learned 6 grammar rules today. Do we have any doubts with any of the rules that we discussed in the class today? Anyone? Please tell me. Now, would you ever make a mistake with this? And grammar is just like this. Trust me, it will go away like this. The moment you're out of the door, it's volatile. So revision is important here. If you don't revise these rules every day, trust me guys, if I do the same rules after 3 months, or after even 2 months, or even after a month, you'll give me these ranga answers that you are coming up with. So it's very important, guys. Yeah, exactly. I know. So it's very important, guys, to revise those rules. And of course, if you haven't watched my or our grammar sessions every day, or if you haven't been following them, please, the links are there forever in that page, Emdad's grammar. Yeah, same link. So you can go, if you have missed any grammar classes beforehand, you can go and open that link, and you can get access to these grammar classes free of cost. Yeah, but make it your priority. Yeah. Make it priority. Look at this. I just use the collocation. Make it your priority. Make it a routine. Yeah? Make it a habit. Make a decision. Yeah. To make a decision is a collocation. How about this? So you can use these grammar rules and you can apply them in your reading as well as your writing. Can improve your writing as well. Is it clear, guys? So don't miss any grammar sessions. Keep coming to the classes. Thank you, other branches. Can we please disconnect? And people who were with us online, thank you very much for your support. Thank you so much. And yeah, see you tomorrow then, same time. Thank you. Other branches, can we please disconnect? Thank you very much. And let's come to our PT class now.